Welcome to the Waggener Union.
Hey everybody, welcome back. We're going to look at Google Sites. Definitely going to go over all the stuff you need to know to get your directions in there. We'll also just go over sites in general. Hopefully this information might be useful down the road for something else, not just for our NTI purposes now. So I'll try to be thorough and cover more than just the basics, but here we go. Okay, couple of ways to get into the union. Okay, the first one would be to just go to sites.google.com. Now I've shared it with you, so you should be able to see the union in there. It's probably the first thing in there because I've shared it so recently. At that point, you can just click on that and it will get you in to the edit version of sites. Okay, now if you just wanted to see the page, I made a tiny URL, so tinyurl.com/Waggener Union will get you there. And let's say you're on the actual site. If you have edit access, and you should, if you're a teacher, see this pencil down here? If you click it, it will, again, get you into the edit version of sites. Okay. I want to show you what it looks like really quickly. You might not see this bar on the left-hand side, or you might, depending on how big your display screen is. If you don't, you're going to see the three lines instead. If you click that, then this will pop up for you. Home, here's a little intro I made with Sarah. Here's the page where I'm putting all the training materials as I get them done. And teachers, just so we can see one. You remember I've asked you for your Google Classroom links because I couldn't get them myself. I appreciate that if you've gotten those to me. I'm just finishing these pages as I get them. So thanks again. Now, if I clicked on this, it wouldn't let me in because I'm not a teacher in that class and I'm not a student in that class. So any student who's not in this first period, if they clicked on it, it would not let them through. Same goes for any teacher trying to click through. Now, if student A is in the second period, then of course, when they click that link, they'll be able to get through. I just put a few sections in, like I gave you some headers with the weeks and then a spot to put directions, but this is meant to help you, not to hinder you, so you can do whatever you want, so much as it includes getting your directions in there. Other than that, if you want, if something comes to me, I'll throw just different sorts of materials or links in just to show you some different options of what you can do easily with Google Sites. So that examples page is there for you too. That's mostly it though, as far as like what the site is going to be. Maybe some other things will come up, but for now, this is the general idea. Okay. Now, for you, let me go back to my presentation and make sure I'm on track here. Size@google.com. Okay. I showed you how to do this on the slideshow. When you go to sites, if you want to build a new one, just right here, create a new site. That's how you do it. Okay, we're not doing that today, but that's how you'd create your own new site. All right. Okay, now when you're in sites, it's going to start with a home page built automatically. And here you see on the bar on the right hand side, insert, and we're going to pages. You'll have a home already. Okay, if you scroll to the bottom here, click new page. That'll pop you in a new page. You can name it, and then it's in. Okay. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but okay, I was right. So if you wanted to, and just know that you can drag and drop pages and move them where you need to. But if I wanted to, see if you see the blue line, that means I'm dragging it under training. Now, if I wanted to, when it lights up the folder there, what I'm doing is I'm making it a sub page. Okay. And I'll publish that so you can see it. You'll see what's happening with publish. You press publish once, it shows you what changes were made, and you press it again and it puts it online. I usually don't even mess with waiting to see what I changed. I'm just trying to get it online. So I'm double pushing publishes pretty quickly. Okay, see this little arrow here, publish options, top right hand corner. Okay, view publish site. Okay, and you'll see here now on the left hand side under training, I have fake because I made that a sub page. That's what that does. Okay, now if I wanted to get rid of it, 3 dots, delete. Okay. Oh, covered all that. Okay, now again, none of this is particularly helpful for what we're doing, but I wanted you to know. Okay, now for us, this is where we're getting to the point where this is the sort of stuff that we need to know. So just open your page. So if you go to teachers, you're going to be in here somewhere. Okay, I'm going to open this one because why not? Okay, and go to insert. This is where you're going to be doing most of the stuff, is just with this insert. Now, again, I already added in, and you can see if you click on the text, you can change it. This is all just for you all to do what you want to do. This is maybe a little confusing. I put, if you go to the examples, for different plans, I put just what periods they were. So if let's say I had English honors and they were third and fourth period, I'd put like English honors and then third and fourth period below it. When I copy and pasted those sections, all of them just said second period. But you can see here like first and third, fifth and seventh. I just thought that was helpful. You do you though, of course. Okay, back to it. Again, here's the links. Yeah, these are probably the most helpful here at in the very top under insert. Here's Textbox. You click it, it drops it in. Sometimes it feels kind of random where it drops stuff in. The good news is everything is super easy to move around. Like if I wanted to drag this text box, let's say up here, I just drag it in and it just drops it in here for me. Okay, now if I wanted to, I could have also moved the whole section. You can see on the left-hand side, if you grab that, that's how you move those things, okay? I'm going to grab it and put it up in this section, though. Now, it's not like a word processor. You can't just like choose a font size or a font for that matter. That's set in the theme, which we're not going to mess with. But, you know, subheading, it will give you a certain size. Right? Okay. That's text. Pretty simple. All right, the other one, just putting images in. Throw something in there. Sure. Whatever. Okay, same deal. If I grab it, I can drag it and put it where I want to put it. Okay, at that point, I can grab a corner to resize it. Look what's happening though. Right, it's cropping it as I go. It takes a little getting used to, honestly, but it's in the end. In the end, what you really might have to do is publish it a couple times and move things around to get it the way you want to get it, but you'll get it. It's not too bad. Okay, inserting images. At the top, those are probably the two most helpful. You can insert drive files and stuff, but for my money, just putting the links in is probably more helpful if that's something you need to do. Embed codes. If you go to that examples page, you can see like the Padlet in there and stuff like that. And that's what you do there is like with embed codes and stuff. But again, Textbox images probably the most helpful. Okay. All right. Yes, again, you use this symbol to move things. Oh yeah, I'm glad I didn't miss this. Just creating links is probably one of the more helpful things we can do here. You're not going to be micromanaged on my end anyway for what you do or don't do necessarily on here, but the more materials you can get linked in, I think the better off we'll all be. At least the way I'm going to try to run my classes, I'm going to try to get most of my materials on my site and then mostly just use Classroom for assignments. Like here's something I'm assigning, here's something I'm taking back. I usually embed materials and links inside the assignments anyway, but just so that stakeholders can also be privy to what is going on, I'm going to try to put materials in here as much as possible anyway. You see I've highlighted the text, insert link. Okay. For what it's worth, you can link to pages really easily inside your own site or just websites, of course. If you have drive links, right, you can drop drive links in. Okay. And then it just makes it go live. Okay. No, I actually need to get rid of that. Links in your directions, it's huge. Okay. I think it's one of the more helpful things we'll be able to offer our students. Okay. Next. All right, buttons are helpful. They can be anyway. You can see like these are buttons. I don't know if I need to say that, but insert button. Button, and then it just needs a link somewhere. Again, just like with the links, you can link them into pages inside the site or to websites. Okay. And now if I made that live, if anyone would click on it, it would take them to the website. You have some options for buttons, how you want them to look. That's whatever. For each section, you'll see we have some stuff here that's different. So like if I scroll over here on the left-hand side, section background, regular, which in this case is white, gray, like a slate, or you can put an image in the background if you want. Okay. Oh. Okay, let's just look at the rest of the insert options that are probably most helpful. YouTube videos. Okay, this one is sick. I'm half tempted to leave this in there and hope that Bowers just listens to it. Okay, and you can resize this and make it as big or as small as you want. I will say this, that it's easy to get them in there. To actually get them the way you want them to look, sometimes you need to publish a couple times. In the end, it's no big deal. But yeah, YouTube videos, helpful. Okay. You have some options here if you're into it. If you see what I did there, scrolled up, clicked on it, hit my settings. After a while, the progress bar will fade away, slide out of view, don't hide it, so they just stay up there. I don't know. I just leave it on fade, progress bar. It's whatever. Okay. I allow full screen on and off. All right. Delete. Okay. Google Slides, getting slides in, pretty cool. You'll see that I've done that a lot. So I'm just going to throw something in here. Here, I'll throw this one in. Okay, and same deal, working on resizing it. One thing that's worth noting, for anything you're dropping in here, you can see when I drag stuff, how you have like this gridded layout. It can be a little frustrating because, you have to make everything fit in these little grids, but I understand why they do it. It just takes a little getting used to. See if I'm going to make it smaller and try to drop it in the middle of, it's going to make a decision, whichever side I'm closest to, on where to snap it into place. On an actual page, you can see that if students want, they can just have to wait for one of them to load. They can just click through though. Here we go. Right, they can just click through, which is pretty rad. Okay, delete. Yeah, the last one that's I think super helpful is just the ability to embed Google Forms. If you're new to assigning work digitally, and you haven't really used Classroom before, Forms could be a really, really nice tool to not just get work, but to build instruction. Like I've built a number of lessons inside Forms, and you can just put them on here, and the kids can work through them. And those results just set in that form, so you wouldn't necessarily have to. I feel like it would be easier to get started digitally using Forms than maybe some other ways. So. Insert, and just like the other stuff, you have to make some decisions about how big or small to make stuff, but it's in there. Pretty rad. I wonder how many times I said the word rad. New adjective time. Spectacular. It is spectacular. Okay, there are other things, but for my money, those are the things that I am most likely to use. Okay, just because we're trying to be thorough, because you might use this for something else later, here's the themes button, or your theme options or whatever. There are a handful. For any of them, like you've got some color options. The last one, you can change the color to whatever you want for all of them. I am asking that you don't mess with it for the site, because it changes the whole site, not just the pages. But that is how you would go and change the overall look and feel of your site if and you wanted to. This is the helpful button. You don't have to publish every time to check to see how things are going to look. You can just click the preview button here, and it will let you see what things will look like. Okay. All right. Oh, I had it covered up. You see down here, it will show you what it looks like on a phone, which the answer is not great. Not much we can do about that, I'm afraid. Tablet, better. Computer, exit preview. Okay. Let's see what else we have. Okay, we've already talked about publish, but one more time, press the publish button, press it again, it'll be online. A couple of the things that are probably helpful that look like didn't make it into my slideshow is just sharing it with others like we've done here. I don't want people to see people's email addresses, but you can, have collaborators in, which can be super helpful. I've built web pages with students before. So yeah. Okay, that's it. That's all we really need to know. For what it's worth, sites.google.com, click on the union, go to Pages, find your name, and you'll be off to the races. Mostly, as long as you can type in the text boxes, you're going to be doing what you're supposed to be doing. Okay, and then at the end of that, just pressing publish, and you'll be off to the races. I'm going to keep putting more training materials out, but if you have any questions, anything you need to know, just holler, and I am here to help you take care of all of it, or as much as I possibly can, with all the social distancing action that's going on. Okay, thanks everybody.